Hello, welcome to a Soulprint Mini. Thank you very, very much for being here. Today, I want to just take a quick peek at Affinity Partners. So, what is Affinity Partners? Well, Affinity Partners is Jared Kushner's investment firm. So, Jared Kushner's investment firm derives like 99, I guess, 0.9% of its client base from Saudi Arabia. Apparently, Jared Kushner, as a result of this investment company that he has and the work he does for his customers out of Saudi Arabia, apparently he pulls in something like $60 million a year in fees. Like, must be nice. Um, so I want to take a look at that because the Senate committee has said, yeah, you come in here and we want to talk to you about this. I think part of the concern is that it's, posing national security concerns. Jared Kushner had access to a lot of information when he was, in the White House. Now, is this investment group, is this to thank him? Or is this to keep the gates open? I don't know, but I gather that this Senate committee is out to find out. So let's take a peek, shall we, and see how that's going to go. Oh, no. For anybody interested in a private reading, just while I'm shuffling these, I have dates at the end of June open, and then I'm booking into July. If you go into the Dropbox below, there's an email address, soulprint888 at gmail.com. Just send me out a quick email saying you're wanting reading information, and I will send you what you need to know. I got cards flying everywhere, so we're going to do one more quick little shuffle and get going. All right, here we go. Kushner, Affinity Partners, Senate Committee. Kushner, Affinity Partners, Senate Committee. Kushner, Affinity Partners, Senate Committee. All right. We're starting off with the Knight of Swords, and it's followed by the Lovers. So this is representing a partnership, and this is representing that sort of I don't want to say rules be damned, but there is definitely an attitude of I'm Jared Kushner and I, therefore, am special, and therefore I am going to do what I want. And if I want to have that close an association with Saudi Arabia, then I'm going to, and who's going to stop me? That's the attitude you've got going there. Seven of Cups. So when you get to the Senate committee, he is going to try to, baffle them with boldly, okay? Because he's going to try to confuse them. He's not going to have answers. But this Senate committee is not, they didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday. And so they're going to see through a lot of this. Like a lot of his misdirection, that kind of nonsense, it's not going to sit very well I'm wondering, I have to wonder honestly, if he may end up saying things like, I plead the fifth. I don't know. Interesting. But the card just shows sort of that mindset. It, he just thinks that he's so much more clever than anybody else. Make no mistake, there is that real sort of mercenary sense to him. All right. For him, his identity, his vision of success, his everything is completely wrapped up in how much money he has, how many toys he owns, how prestigious he thinks he's been. And I have to tell you that energetically, part of the reason that has looked outside of the country is because for the most part, people in the country don't have a very high opinion of him. And so he, had to pick his marbles and go play somewhere else because there aren't a lot of people banging at the doors of affinity partners to get in and benefit from Jared's, I'm sure, savvy business advice. So this has been going on. This company's been around since 2021, right after he left the White House. And so here you are, 3 years later, 3.5 years later. I mean, you would think that other people, maybe some Americans, would want to, take advantage of the fact that this guy's so amazing that he's making these kinds of annual salaries in, fees. But that doesn't seem to be happening. And so in some ways, the only place it can work is sort of outside. And it's not only that it's not only that there are not American businesses, consumers who are interested in doing business with him. By and large, there are entire groups of people, one hears, that don't want to play with him anymore. I mean, you've got the whole New York crowd, and apparently, so now they're in Florida in some gated community or something, and their neighbors there don't want to play with them. And so, they're in a position of really not being able to maintain any sort of a impressive status in this country. And the fact that they have gone very quiet about Trump's shenanigans and Trump's state and what is going on with him is fine and wonderful because they're just ignoring it. But it's not like people's memories are quite that short. And so they're not being welcomed with open arms anywhere except perhaps by the Saudi Arabians. So that's sort of energetically what you've got there. And this is the thing, he is willing to absolutely do the work because that's what he has. All right. That's what he has. You can expect when he goes in front of this committee, and honestly, the committee just wants some answers. Okay. They want to know what the hell is going on. But they're not going to attack him from the get-go. They just want some answers and answers that he should be able to provide. But, you've got the Wheel of Fortune here. And you've got to think sometimes that Wheel of Fortune is going to not bring you amazing fortune, but less amazing fortune. And so it feels very much like he's on sort of a bit of a slippery slope. Just a bit of a slippery slope. There's going to be a lot of discussion about where this money came from, how it came from, what's going on in there. Is it going to be the end of the affinity group? I don't believe it's going to be the end of them right away. But it's sort of like they're going to end up on notice that as long as the Dems have power, they will continue to watch over and monitor the situation, and they will, the death card, they will move appropriately if they find out that there's any sort of shenanigans going on, particularly any that impact the national security of the United States. So this partnership deal is not great, and frankly, he's not going to be able to hide behind a bunch of sort of confusion and a bunch of half answers. And this is the thing, he's just not as smart as he thinks he is. And honestly, he's not as savvy with money as he thinks he is. Mostly, I mean, if you look back, just sort of over a period of time where we have kind of been really more aware of him than not. That, what was that building, that 666 building on wherever in New York? I mean, that got really scary, right? Because he needed that influx of cash, or the whole thing was going to come down on him. Make no mistake, he's worried about this committee. He's worried about what they may find. And ultimately, he's a little scared about kind of the law coming down on him and justice being meted out. So that's what you've got going on there. I think that this is a period of time, frankly, that's a little bit dangerous for the Kushners in terms of their reputation, in terms of their money, their financial standing, in terms of their standing within the community. I think that they're actually going to be in for a bit of a bumpy ride. And so I guess, even though they're really, really well aware that Trump's like, woohoo, they're probably also hoping he wins so that this can disappear. And it doesn't seem like that's actually how this is going to unfold for them. But hope springs eternal. Thank you for being here. I will look forward to seeing you. Don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section below. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And then again on Pendulum Friday. Take good care. Bye-bye now.